York chapter and also a member of the Government Liaison Committee. This is York chapter's first all candidates debate. We've never done this before, and I'm really glad it's going very well so far. Candidates haven't started fighting yet, which is a very good sign. Something happened behind the scenes. So, in all honesty, we're actually very glad to have the support of everybody, including the York Chapter Executive Board. They've been very supportive from day one. So, when Dennis and I first brought up the idea of doing an all candidates debate 3 weeks ago, the chapter board threw their support behind it right away, and here we are today with a full room and 14 candidates. So, thank you very much. There are a number of So we have a number of York Chapter executives in the room, and I encourage everyone to meet them at some point this morning.
Could they stand up so we can see them?
Yeah,
standing up.
Yeah, if the York Chapter execs can stand up, so there they are. Yeah. And Gordon and Dennis, yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so, and also to the candidates, thank you all for being here. Really commend you for throwing your hat in the ring. And the rest of the attendees, thank you very much for being here as well, because we need people to be more engaged in these elections, and I really hope you've held off on voting until after this debate. Right. Since I'm not a candidate myself, I'll stop talking, and but I do want to bring Dennis up to the front. Dennis Wu, really was the person who put this room together and the venue, and also he's a past chair of York Chapter. And also last year, 2016, he was the recipient of the Order of Honor. So, Dennis.
Well, this is my office. I just want to welcome everyone to my office. It's still fairly new. So I think Daniel accelerated a little bit. I didn't put this on. It's really the effort of the entire executive, and mostly Daniel. Daniel has spent a lot of time as well as the volunteers. They spent kind of time, getting the presentation, getting things ordered, getting people into this floor. Last time when we do a rehearsal, it was kind of a little bit difficult because it's so new. I didn't even know how to get the security to open the parking level so that people can actually come into the building. So just a bit of logistics, about the building logistics. When you leave, or I hope you actually get the parking pass already. It's all validated. If not, you can go to Hannah, and it's right at the back in the blue shirt, or whatever you call that. Clothing is so weird, I think. Sweater, there you go. The blue sweater. So ask Hannah at the back to get your validated parking pass, and have fun today. I'm really happy that you are here. Because this is my office, I need to do a bit of advertising. Actually, I'm looking to hire some people. So at the back of the table there on your left-hand side, you see 3 job postings. I'm hiring engineers, hiring software scientists. If you or someone would like to apply, just let me know. There's some contact information there. There's also have some brochures about my firm, my group. So feel free to pick up things as you leave. And I'd like to pass it on. Well, actually, I want to introduce Alice. Alice Chow is the active member of volunteers for the Women's Evangelism Committee in the York Chapter, and she'll be in control for the entire day. So listen to her. And I heard Dan talk about fighting. So Thomas and Peter stop fighting.
Here on the good side.
Yeah. But I do have my number on 9/11, so you can call them in as soon as possible. But before we start, I'm going to ask our chapter chair Gordon to have a few words. Okay,
So I'm going to do this without a mic because actually my voice projects pretty well. So for those of you that I haven't met, my name is Gordon Nip. I'm the chair for the York Chapter. I just want to briefly speak and just welcome you to this all candidates debate. One of the reasons why we decided to do this year, and as Daniel and Dennis first mentioned, this is the first time that York Chapter has ever held an all candidates debate. And what kind of spurred us on this particular moment is that for the first time, I believe, in actually my 20 years of volunteering, we have now a very healthy number of candidates running for every single one of the positions. We have good diversity amongst all the candidates running for various positions. As well, we have old and new to council, so very experienced versus less experienced in candidates running for council. And so we want to encourage this debate to ensure that everybody really kind of understand all of our candidates' platform. So I highly encourage you to be highly inquisitive today. Make sure you understand everybody's platform before you vote. And a major thing is please get out and vote. So over the past numerous years, voter turnout for PEO elections has been considerably dropping. We'd like this to be the first time again in PEO history where voter turnout has increased. So that would be one measure of success for this particular chapter in doing something like this. Also notice the venue, which is we are surrounded in an area with nothing but infrastructure and engineering growth. There's 2 subway stations in plans and hopefully going to be completed by the end of this year. We're in an area with nothing but space for us to construct. It's so new that's not even showing up in some of the technology. So thank you for those who managed to find their way here and into the parking lot. So, and as Dennis mentioned, this is an organization that's always also hiring in terms of new engineers. So what you see before you in this venue, thank you, Dennis, for organizing this, getting to this venue. Daniel, thank you so much for the fantastic organization, getting all the candidates, almost all the candidates, every one of the roles that are pertinent to this particular chapter here today, and actually for a really good turnout from our membership as well. So for that, thank you very much, and let's get to all candidates debate going. Thank you.
Good morning. So my name is Alice Chow, and I'm today's moderator. And we are pleased to announce that there have been special arrangements made for voters to listen in on this live debate via telephone. I will read the rules only once due to time constraints for all candidates, and these rules apply throughout the session. To start off, each president-elect candidate will have opportunity to a 2-minute opening speech, and all other positions will have 90 seconds. There will be 2 questions per category. The question will be directed for all candidates of that category, and each will have 1 minute to respond. I will rotate the speaking order with each new question, and subsequently, each president-elect candidate will have 90 seconds for closing remarks and 1 minute for all other candidates. We will have a timekeeper up here in the front. Kim will be showing different colors to track the time. When there are 30 seconds left, she will show the green card. Yellow represents 15 seconds left, and red means time's up. Candidates are expected to be respectful of each other and avoid any use of offensive or prejudicial language. At the end of all 4 categories, candidates from all categories will be asked to return to the stage. Audience members will have the opportunity to ask questions for any candidate or the entire category for all candidates. Then candidates will have 45 seconds to answer that question. If time permits, those audience members can ask a second question after everybody had the opportunity to ask the first question. So let's start off with the East Central Region Councillor candidates, and we will start with Mr. Peter Cushman. Okay, so we will start off with Thomas Chong as the first candidate.
Thank you, Alice. Happy New Year, everybody. 恭喜发财. Your chapter is my home chapter, and I start serving you at the chapter board for 8 years. I'm a grassroots candidate and a chapter person with extensive volunteer experience in chapters, committee, and council. I have the passion and the leadership and the experience to effect positive and real changes. If elected, I should diligently work for you in 3 ways. 1, be your poet to win the hearts and minds of the chapter's members and other stakeholders to advance our profession. 2, be your engineer define the problem, solve the problem, unlock the barriers, and harness the power of innovation. 3, be a warrior, fight for your rights, voice your concerns, respect the members. Restore physical sanity to PEO with no fee increase. Consult chapters and members in any major policy changes, and members must have the final say in a binding referendum for professional development, CPD. I am the only candidate with a 5-point plan to give power back to the members, back to the chapters, and ensure that chapters have adequate funding for healthy growth. So vote Thomas Chong, stronger voice for East Central Ontario. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Our second candidate will be Peter Cushman.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank York Chapter for organizing such a great event. I am from York Chapter. Before I start, I would like to apologize because I broke my arm last night. I'm on medication, so a little bit woozy. But basically, I'm standing here before you as a concerned engineer. I'm sure, like many of you, like me, are concerned about the way PEO is conducting its business. Our professions start becoming irrelevant, and this is very concerning. I'm hoping to be able to bring more transparency to the PEO operation, involve members in major decision makings. As I stated before, PEO is like a tree, and chapters are the roots of that tree. The stronger the root, the stronger the tree. So we have to help the chapters to become strong, so we have a strong organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Our third candidate will be Tina Emamverdi.
Thank you. This is my first time running for the council. I started my career at XPS Consulting Test Work Services in Sudbury back in 2011. I consider myself as a junior engineer, so this is a very new experience for me. But working in this field, like, it allowed me to grow into a leader, and had that experience working at different mining sites in Sudbury and Australia. I'm passionate about learning and adding value to organizations. I have volunteering experiences at Sudbury Hospital and Dandenong Library in Melbourne. And running for this position, it's the next challenge for me. It's an opportunity for me to be part of PEO, to help PEO and the council make decisions that would positively influence our ability as a self-regulated profession. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Our fourth candidate will be Councillor Leong.
Hi, it's been an honor to be able to run for PEO Council, and of course this is the first time for me. And I'm also a member of the York chapter. Why I would run for councillor, there's a lot of people that tell me that I'm crazy. But then, if you think about it, you look at the council members. The council members has been there for a long, long time. And we need to break this club, or break the code, and introduce new ideas to the PEO to make our profession even much better. And with all these new members, I think there's a roadblock in doing this. And the other thing on my platform that I'm running for councillor is that I would like to curb spending at PEO. And I noticed that there's a lot of wasteful spending that's happening at PEO right now. And I'm very passionate about my profession. And I can tell you a little background on my job that I'm doing right now. I'm with Metrolinx, and I'm looking after $15 billion in infrastructure projects. And one of them is down there, one of the stations on Jane and 407. That was one of my projects, so as all the other infrastructure projects in GO Transit. So I believe that with my experience with the government, with the policy, planning, and engineering, I'd be able to be a good councillor. Thank you.
Thank you, Cam. And our fifth candidate will be Greg Merrill.
Good morning, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, Greg Merrill, I'm out of the Simcoe Muskoka chapter. A lot of the reasons that have been presented here is why I'm also running for council. I believe one of the most important ones, though, is what's already been said, is re-engaging the hearts and minds, making engineers feel that they're being properly represented. And as a councillor, it is that individual's job to make sure that the wants, needs, and concerns of the 6 chapters that form the central region are communicated to and defended and logically and properly argued at council meetings, and also to deal with the other, or not deal with, but to communicate that to the other council members, to have them on the same boat with you as to understanding why there are issues out there. For those of you who don't know my background, I am a former Air Force officer. I was an aerospace engineer in the Royal Canadian Air Force for just short of 30 years. I also consider considerable board and policy experience, and I look forward to having the support to represent you at PEO Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. And we will now begin with the questions. Can we pass the mic? That might be better. So the first question is, what are your thoughts on PEO's fiscal accountability and transparency? And we will start that question with Cam's response.
With the fiscal accountability and what financial?
And transparency. It's
And
actually the
transparency,
questions
right here.
are displayed on the side.
Oh,
Right there.
as I say, what my platform in running is curbing spending at PEO, and it seems that that's a lot of ways It's been happening at the PEO level. For instance, the MPP reception at Queen's Park. I don't know. I still do not understand what's the value of that in spending money, and have they actually consulted us in embarking on such an initiative? And the other thing that I noticed is that some of the council members or executive board is spending money on a chain, and that's ridiculous to me. Is there an approval from us? I don't think there's any. So I would look into all this kind of spending and try to provide transparency to our membership. Thank you.
Thank you, Cam. And next, we would like to hear from Greg, please.
Thank you. Yeah, and I agree with Cam's comments. That I think there are certain things that dollars could definitely be better spent, specifically one of them being a sore point with me, and I'll be very, very open about it, is the chain of office. I think that was an expense of our dollars that was completely unnecessary. I think a better job could be done in transparency in communicating what the not only current expenditures are, but how they're communicated out to the membership, so that there is an opportunity for feedback. These are our dollars. It's our membership dollars that provide for this funding. So, thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Next, we'll have Tina.
I definitely agree that we have to have clear transparency in what's happening with the PEO and the finances and everything. But what I don't hear is that how our spending is aligned with our mandate in regulating, in protecting the public's interest. Are we spending to protect the public? Is that what's happening? So it has to be in place. I hear a lot of saving for members, but I don't hear anything tailored to public's interest.
Thank you, Tina. Next, we'll have Thomas.
Thank you, Alice. Actually, I mentioned one of my platforms is to bring sanity back in physical accountability and transparency. For example, PEO spent $51 million in the purchase of a $24 billion building in renovation. This is unacceptable. And I would like to go back to what Cam was saying. because Howard is here representing the GLP consultant. I think you are a bit out of date. First of all, in this January, if you read the news, January this year, no more fundraising at MPP, even in the chapters, the MPP. Secondly, the GLP program has an audit, and the audit person talked to all the MPP, and they highly recommend to have the once a day in a year to meet with the PEO. So this is very effective. So yeah, okay,
Thank
time's up.
you, Thomas. And we'll have Peter.
Thank you for saving the best for last. Well, basically, with regard to transparency, obviously PEO can do a better job. Good example of it is CPD and PEAK program. Last year we had lots of town halls, and instead of actually asking our opinion, they said just ask questions before we know it, they're implementing it. This should have gone in a referendum last year, not pass the resolution and go this year. In terms of expenditure, I was going through the PEO budget, I noticed something interesting, that the amount of money spent on postage is almost as close as the amount of money spent on all the chapters, which going back to my point that we need stronger chapters. We have to see where we can spend the money that we get more return on it, and that's chapters in my opinion. Thank you.
Can I comment on this?
No.
Thank you, Peter. So our next question will be, what approach will you take to engage more with EITs and young professionals? We'll start with Tina.
One of the ways that would help with that is having leadership development in place for EITs, and also being clear as what PEO and OSPI stands for both EIT and young professionals, and building that sense of responsibility in young profession, like engineers, knowing that what having a PH means for them. And one of those ways, it can be incorporated in the leadership program as well.
Thank you, Tina. Next we'll have Peter.
Thank you. The way I look at it, the approach I would take is going a little bit further and starting from the university years. I recall my own university years when they were talking about getting your P.Eng, and I was thinking, why would I even want to do that? The thing is that we have to approach the students at the time they enter the engineering program, and talk to them about PEO and what are the benefits of being part of PEO and why they should be part of it. And from that point forward, build a strong grassroots, and that's how I would approach it. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. We'll have Thomas answer.
Thank you, Alice. And EIT is the future of PEO, so it's very important. We need to have a seamless transition from students to EIT and then to P.Eng. So we have to engage them when they are in university, and also help them out when they are doing the training. And also the young professionals, we need to engage, a broader engagement of the millennials. And we have to ask their ideas, and also use the newer technology to communicate with more young professionals to join PEO. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas, and then Bryce.
Thank you. In engaging EITs, it's incredibly important. It's something that in my chapter we actively do, and in my previous career, even as a military officer, was often communicated, why do you need your PNs? You're doing things in the military, you don't need the license. The reality being is that I always said, well, I'm not going to be in the military forever. And when I ran aerospace
face-to-face engineering training, I had the opportunity to come face-to-face with young graduate engineers and ardently reiterated that issue of get your professional status. Why? Because as a professional, you are held to a higher standard, and that is the very essence of being a professional, and that is what has to be communicated to the youngsters, and I take every opportunity to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah, I have the same thing that Greg just talked about, engaging VIPs and young professionals. And I have been doing that for the last at least 10 years. I hire co-op students all the time. And every time I hire them, not only when they finish their term, I continue to support them. And I will spread the word around in the office, telling other engineers to do the same, to act as mentor for these people that left the company. And as I said, I would, as a counselor, I would continue to get PEO to engage more EITs and young professionals, especially when the young professional is about to get the license. And some of them are very confused as to why they're getting the license. And you have to really explain and engage them to know the value of the P.Eng license.
Thank you, Cam. So now we will have the concluding remark. We'll start with Greg.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank your chapter for giving all of us this opportunity to talk and meet with you today. I really don't think there's a lot more to be said as to our viewpoints, the fact that all of us want an opportunity to represent the ECR. And I look forward to your support. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Greg, and
Thank you so much, your chapter, for organizing this, especially with the great food and the great turnout. And I'd like to reiterate that my platform is curb spending and then breaking the old cycle. I call it a club. And I hope for the best that I could do a good job if I can. Thank you.
Thank you. Next one, Tina.
I want to be the new voice for the chapter and bring a new perspective into the council. And it would be my honor to be part of the council and help to regulate and make sure we're protecting the public interest. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Next one.
Thank you. I would like to again thank your chapter for the great job they did. I hope that I can bring a new perspective to PEO Council. Given my background and my involvement in the world of politics, I definitely have a different approach to solving the problems, and I will bring quite a different experience to the council. I would appreciate your vote and support. Thank you very much. Vote for Peter Cushman for East Central Council. Thank you.
I stand for my 5-point plan to give power back to the chapters and the members. One is to raise the value of the relevancy of P.Eng license. 30% of the engineering work done by non-licensed engineers is not acceptable. You must fight for the right to practice and strengthen enforcement, ensuring that engineering work must be done by professional engineers. No membership fee with no wasteful spending, and respect the members and consult the members and chapter in major policy changes, including the mandatory professional development. And members should have the final say in the binding referendum, and also ensure adequate funding for chapters. And my analysis, the PEO for 15 years, the chapter funding has been flat, and this is unacceptable. And so we work together, and together we will make PEO and the chapter great again. So vote for Thomas Chong, the right choice for the new beginning. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. And thank you very much to all the East Central Regional candidates. And